Do anything. Hmm. Don't know what the hell. Yeah, if I turn display capture on or off, that don't help. Yeah. Oh, now you guys, I bet you are hearing me. Because the meter's moving now. Yeah. Something got turned off in here, and I don't know what the hell it is that got turned off, but you guys should be hearing me now. Can you? Probably not. Yeah, well, you guys keep saying that. I don't know why. My meter thing here isn't more moving and everything's turned on, but I don't get it. Yeah, that's what you guys said last time. Then he came back, said no audio. So which is it? Do I have sound or not? I'll try turning it up a little bit, see if that helps, but yeah, no desktop audio, no mic audio, and no microphone. But you guys say you can hear me. That baffles me. Because nothing's moving. Nothing's working. But you say you can hear me, okay. It's funny you're saying that, but okay. Well, let me try something here. Take this, back it down to here. Take this one, turn it off. And go over to this here in microphone. It wasn't supposed to have done that. Then we'll turn this back. I don't get it. Turn back on. Okay, I don't know if you can still hear. Thank you, Tony. RMR, get the hell out of here if you're gonna be nasty. I'm not gonna deal with you today. I got enough problems. All right, being that we've got sound, I don't know. Yeah, we got Hazy Smoke again here today. This is gonna be our new norm. Is what I've been hearing on the news today and last night. And people I've talked to, they say we're gonna have this thick hazy smoke in our area for several years. I'm not liking that idea at all. Because it hurts the throat to go outside and breathe that smoke. Even with my back problems today, I biked downtown with my trailer because I had to. I got a call. Someone wanted something moved over to Northeast. So I did that and pretty much choking all the way there and choking all the way back. Now my feeling today, eh, back isn't really doing any better. My hernia, yeah, it's there. I can feel it. A little bit of pain with it. It's not really painful. I mean, it's just I know it's there, but I can feel. Now I know what they mean by incarcerated because I can feel the shell that it's in, and it's tied to other things. That's what incarcerated means. A little bit more tougher surgery, but he said it won't take much longer. It's just incarcerated, so they got to do a little bit more cutting. and then they're gonna put a mesh in there and just rip it out of there. They say it only takes him 15, 20 minutes to do that. So, go in there, make a small cut, drill into it, grab a hold of it, rip it out, sew me back up, send me off to recovery. It's nothing big. But they wanted, I asked the doctors about this in the hospital when I was there. It's like, why do they want me to do that healthcare directive before having that hernia surgery? Are they expecting me to die or something? No, they've just, I guess it's mandatory at all procedures like that. If you don't have a healthcare directive, they are now forcing you to. Here in Crow Wing County, there is no option about that anymore. The hospital told me they're forcing everybody that lives in Crow Wing County. If you don't have a healthcare directive, don't bother going to the clinic and getting help because they won't help you until you help them. So most people in Crow Wing County are scrambling to get their healthcare directives done. I had to get mine done. Or they're going to cancel the procedure I had the other day. They weren't going to do my hernia surgery or anything else. So my mom quickly came up here and said, let's get it done so you can get your hernia surgery. Otherwise, they're not going to do it. Freaking assholes. So we did. We went to the library, got into one of their private rooms, and 8 pages later, or whatever it is, I think it's 6, but it just took longer because my mom's like 83 years old. She's really, her mind is starting to slow down. So her thinking process isn't as fast as mine. Even though I looked at the question and already had the answer in my head, it takes my mom to recycle that about 20 times. And then she's like, oh, okay, I know what they're talking. No. Then she'll read it again, confused, like, Mom, want me to explain it to you? So I did, and she understood it. I think, she's just slowing down. She's just, but her mind is still there. I mean, I'm actually shocked. And she went for that test last year, or the end of last year. It's a mind test, brain test, whatever they do on you. She passed it with flying colors at 83 years old. And she whizzed past that and said, that was easy. They were shocked that she was doing that well at her age. Her mind is starting to slow down, but as far as her thinking process, it's still there. It's just at the speed of 82 years old. So she's doing all right. I'm doing okay. It's just I've got my back is. Oh yeah, it's not going bad. It's not really. I wouldn't say I'm having a rough time, but I don't know. Walking can be a little bit funny. People were looking at me on second floors like, Rick, why are you walking sideways? Because let's see, because I walked sideways, I turned my shoulders sideways, parallel to my hips. Because if I straighten out like, no, I have my hips kind of twisted, and then I do this. So my hips are this way, but I'm facing. That's the only way I can be comfortable. Because if I pull my hips straight forward, align with my shoulders, it pulls my back, and no, I can't do that. So, but every doctor I have is aware of it. I got into my chart for Maple Grove. I told him about it. I told my 3 doctors up here. I told all the nurses at the hospital and at the clinic that I'm kind of having serious walking problems because I'm walking twisted. And they wrote back to me and they said, yeah, we've heard you say that before, so we know the condition you're in. What's your pain level? It's a 7. Yeah, now they're scrambling. Now they're going to see. The only way to fix this is for me to get down to the cities and get that injection, which again, it's a steroid. No, they said, well, which do you want? You want your back fixed or you want your hernia fixed? It's going to be one of the two because that's a steroid they're going to be giving you. We can't do the hernia surgery when you're on that. I guess the back will wait then. I'll wait till the end of August. I don't want to, but if they're telling me that's a steroid that I can't have in my system during the surgery, then I guess I'll put off going to the cities. And Dr. Jewison, that poor guy, he's gonna drop us one of these days. He got told, and I told, well, now they're saying I can't go to the cities to get the back injection because the hernia, they won't do the hernia surgery if I do. And he wrote back to me again and said, Rick, you need to make up your mind. Which one are you gonna do? You need to drop one of them. I said my mind's already been made up for me. So I got to do the hernia surgery. They're not letting me come down to the cities. And then he wrote back, says, well, then I'm wondering if you keep coming down here at all. I didn't say I wasn't going to. I just said we're gonna have to probably put it probably after August. And he said that's not what I wanted. I know it's not what you wanted, but I gotta get my hernia fixed. And he wrote back again and said whatever. He said goodbye. So I called my mom. I told her. She kind of got pissed, and she said, "Why is he being all bitchy like that?" So she's gonna call down there and force them to tell him to call her, and she's got a few words that she's gonna say to him. He shouldn't be doing what he's doing, but I kind of understand. Every point I made the point where we had back in June. He was kind of surprised. He walked in the door. He's like, "Oh, you two did make it here finally." He's like, "Yeah, I talked to her about that." That was a conversation I won't repeat. It got kind of ugly. My mom's to blame for it. If the weather isn't just perfect, no wind, and not really raining or whatever, she really won't drive down to the cities. So I may have to find other people to bring me down there. I know Jackie and Brett offered, but they're wanting hundreds of bucks to do it. So I don't know. I don't want Brainerd to do it because what the fuck? Chat disconnected? What the hell now is going on? No chat. Chat disconnected. Hey guys, how you doing? You know what happened to everybody else? Looks like they disappeared because they got disconnected from chat. I'm having all kinds of problems today. OBS just does not want to work. There it goes. There it shows up again. Chat disconnected. The fuck is going on? Bill, you see me okay? I don't know why it keeps telling me that. Chat disconnected. Please wait. Okay, now it says successfully connected. What? But you guys can't hear me. Yeah? No audio again. Hmm. I don't get it. You hear me? I have no mixer desktop audio, so I don't know how you're hearing me because it's saying it's all disconnected. I'm glad you're hearing me, but that's not what this is telling me. Yeah, well, that's funny. I don't get it. But anyhow, I know a few people enjoy. Hey, Halsies. How you doing? Seaver, hello. And Chibi, however you say your name, hello. How you guys doing? Trying to give the balls. uh, oh yeah, 32 instead of 8 gigs. Yeah, that would make a difference. It's kind of what I recommend people to be on nowadays. Is the lowest is usually 32. I mean, unless you can be on like 16 gigs if all you're doing is checking email on the browser for maybe 20 minutes a day. Yeah, 16 gigs would be okay for that, but most people are on you. They multitask by a lot of things. So yeah, 32 is, if you can get it, it's a better way to go, I think. Even though nowadays the more memory you put in your computer, the slower it gets. It does the opposite of what it used to do years ago. It does you no good to have 64 gigs of memory. Actually, yeah, you could test it, put 16 in, and then put 32 gigs in, see if there's a difference between the two. I'd kind of leave it at 32. 16 for the bare minimum stuff, and 32 for, if you're gonna do a lot of hard work on your computer, I'd go up to 32. But most people don't need what I have, and that's 64. But I do video editing, all a bunch of kind of stuff that will chew on the memory. So I need to take the one in the bedroom off 64 because it's running so doggone slow. No, not that. The one in the bedroom is actually doing good. It's this one, which I have upgraded the bedroom the better no. I have upgraded the living room PC to Windows 11. It was on Windows 10 yesterday till, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock, and I switched it over to Windows 11. I did the in place upgrade. You're not really supposed to do it that way, but I had things on my computer that I couldn't move. I've got nowhere to put it. The amount of hard drives and SSDs. So I kind of had to leave all my documents on this computer, which is damn near a gig. I didn't want to lose those documents. They're all work related. Stuff that are for the doctors and whatever. But it all worked fine because after I got Windows 11 on here this morning, I went into my documents and I said I had 82.3 megabytes. 82.3 megabytes of documents, so I didn't lose anything. Thankfully. It's the one thing I hear from people is upgrading to Windows 11 and they've lost everything. No, that's not what happened. Well, it was there before I started and I go back and it's gone. It's not gone. Well, I don't see it. And I told her if I have to come over there and show you what it did, her boss finally came in and said, I'll take care of it. And it was there. He didn't lose anything. She was just trying to blame Microsoft, and Microsoft was saying it's a bad product until her supervisor or whatever said it, and he came down and I think he took her outside and had a word with her. I didn't want to hear the conversation, so they went to the back of the building. I went to the front of the building. I said, "You guys let me know when it's safe to come back in here, because I think heads are gonna fly." Yeah, right. It wasn't a good conversation those two had. And I told him before I got there, I said, "That's not what happened. I can guarantee you she didn't lose anything." Well, yeah, we'll take a look at it when you get here. It was all there. And she was trying to claim it wasn't. It was. So that was a wasted trip over there and back. And confirms it handles up to 32 smooth. Yeah, it should be able to do 32. Still no dedicated GPU, but editing is going to be much faster. I wouldn't say much faster, but it's going to be more stable, which is going to seem in turn make it seem like it's more stable, or going to more faster. It's just going to be more stable. It's not going to be so iffy if how it wants to do things. It's just going to be in line with everything. It's just going to smooth. It's just going to go along smoother than on 16 gigs, which is kind of miserable if you're doing video editing. I've tried that on 16 gigs. It don't work too well. I mean, it does work, but it's just slow. You're sitting there yelling at the damn computer saying, "Come on, let's hurry up," and it just sits there and it creeps along. I got the green bar, whatever, and it just zips straight across, and it's done in about 2 minutes. So, that's a 14 core, 14 core, 8 and 6. 64 gigs of memory. So yeah, that computer in the bedroom, it flies. I can't. It's to the point where now where I can't keep up with it. It's waiting on me instead of me waiting on it. It's waiting on me to catch up to it, which doesn't happen too often. But on that computer in the bedroom, that's what's happening. It's waiting for me. I said, "I'm done with that already. What else do you want me to do?" And it did Windows updates the other day. Biddy bing, biddy boom. Done. Whoa. This one here is the one that slowed down and getting Windows 11. I was wondering if it was going to make it because it stayed at 16% for like 10 minutes, then went to 17% for another 8 minutes. It took longer than it should have, but it's what you get when you have DSL internet. Yeah, I just don't understand what happened to my desktop audio. My mic auxiliary, neither one of those bars are moving. I don't know why. That just stretches it out. Well, I'm not going to mess with it anything because you guys are hearing me now, so I'm just going to leave it alone. It's really video processing and rendering. It murders the resources. AI upscaling can't do. Hmm. AI upscaling. Hmm. Yeah, 32 gigs. You should be happy with that. Um, like I said a little while ago, I'm gonna take mine off 64 and put 32 in it and see if it. See, the startup on that computer is a little bit slower than it should be. It's not as snappy as it should be. I'm wondering if that's because of the 64 gigs of memory. That I was thinking it would do me good, but obviously it isn't. But I don't know. I might keep it in there because video editing. I'm not the only person around here that does video editing. There's people around here that do it a lot better than I do. So two of the guys came down here yesterday, and the one guy was here today, and he did a little video editing on that computer. And he swears up and down if there was another one like it, he'd buy it. I said, "No, that's the only one I've got." He said, "It's nice." He might be upgrading his to a 14 core. He didn't know 14 core was that snappy. I didn't either until I tried it, until I took it around the block a few times. It's not bad. Not bad at all. No, core parking, yeah, I don't get into that. I've heard about it, but I don't mingle with that kind of crap. Throttle stop. Yeah, I've heard of that too, but again, I don't get into that. I know where it's at. I know how to get to it, but yeah, messing with the throttle stops and everything, you don't want to, things can go good or things can go horribly bad if you mess with the wrong thing. That's why I don't mess with that stuff. If you don't need to, stay away from it. Yeah, I'm in power management a lot. I'm always changing things in there. But there's a limit to what you can do and other things. For the more normal people that I work with, I usually don't mess with that stuff. I just set all the defaults, and that's the way I leave it. Unless they're really experienced people that would want me to do this or that. Um, I don't really mess anything. Do I have a scratch on my? No. Most office workers don't need that because all they're doing is just behind the keyboard dictating whatever, doing whatever they do. So they don't mess with that kind of stuff. The enthusiasts do, but I'm kind of an enthusiast and still kind of working. So it's kind of both. I mean, it's kind of like Kerry and Doug and a few others. We do kind of enthusiast stuff, but when it comes to work, it's pretty much the same mold that we do with pretty much with everybody. So as far as me working, it was another thing that kind of got brought up yesterday. Is like, how many hours are you still working in the summer? I said, well, lately because of my health, I haven't been. I'll do okay if I'm not. I got plenty of money, but until the issues I have that I've got going on, I want to. I really want to do that. I'd like to have projects here, but and as far as working on customers' stuff, you ain't gonna see that because I've got a contract with my customers that I won't do that. They say, yeah, we'll work with you on one condition: you don't video record any other stuff. Okay, so that's why I'm not. I'd like to have projects to do, but I guess for now we're just gonna sit and talk. I mean, I did have that computer over there, but yeah, as far as working on anybody else's stuff, in most of the places here where I live, most on their doors of businesses, they got one sign on the top of the door. I just look up and read it. It says no video recording allowed in premises. Most of the places I go, that note is up there because I just look up and it says no video recording on premises. Okay, put the phone back in my pocket. Yeah, they just don't like it here in Crow County. They're kind of against it. I mean, if you do, you'll get stopped. Pictures, you can take pictures all day long, but your video recording, they don't bother me too much anymore. But I do get the funny looks, but they don't really bother me. It's just one thing in this area that never did get worked out. The police never did get involved, and I've asked them to write something in the newspaper saying For people that think that people can't do video recording in this area, it's not illegal to do it, but the chief never did what he said he was going to do, so I still get the looks and I still get people shaking their finger at me. It's like, no, I'm not shutting it off. Screw you. And I just keep going. Well, until I get shot. That could happen. We got a lot of really, really, really violent people in this town that don't put up with people's crap. You tell them no, they'll just poof. Goodbye. There's a guy here last summer that went to prison because he shot somebody. The guy, I don't know if he said no or did something or wasn't going to do what he did. So the guy took out his handgun and said, fine, then I'll do away with you. Boom! Shot him right back here in the back of the head and the neck. Killed him instantly. Well, he's sitting in still water for the rest of his life. For a small town that this town is, it's had its violence. We've had our murders in this town, and for this kind of community, that's not supposed to happen. But it's happened. We've had several people just point blank murdered. And just walk up to people and say, hey, you turn around and goodbye. One guy was shot, that was 3 years ago. He was shot downtown. Came out of the bar, went around the corner, and guy was waiting for him, shot him. He's in prison. Hasn't happened this year yet. It's come close, but nothing really fatal this year so far. I have thought of that too, Halsey. I thought of that, but that's getting expensive. When you get into those logos and you get into those mats, I've looked into them. They're creeping up into the price of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I won't do that. Do I carry? Yeah, once in a while I do. Once in a while I do. But I know I'm going into a neighborhood that's got problems. Yeah. I'll take my gun out of my closet and put it back there and cover my shirt over it. People know it's there because they can see the bulge in my shirt, but I've had to go in some areas that I don't like being in, so I bring my handgun with me. I've had to point it at one person because he was starting to bother me and he says, starting to harass me, so I just pulled my gun out and said, you know what? And poof, he ran down the stairs and see you later. Yeah, goodbye. Put my handgun back in the pocket and kept working. I don't take it out all the time. If I'm just going from here to Holiday or around town, not really. Not until I get into a hairy situation. I've never shot anybody. I've aimed at people, but I've never shot to kill. I'm not into that. But I've given warning shots. I've put a bullet beside a guy that was just standing there, wouldn't move. He was like all spaced out or something. He wouldn't listen to me, so I said, I'll give you something to listen to. So I laid one beside him by his left foot, and he slowly turns, just slowly walks away. Like, dude, I almost shot you, and you just slowly turn and walk. And the police caught up with him. He was up on the road, and they caught up with him, and they picked him up. And the one officer told me that guy is just not there anymore. They've been having a few issues with him, and he hasn't been in my area for years. They moved him out years ago. Same with that TJ. Oh my God, that guy used to live here. Oh my God. I've had him say twice, a couple of times, he's seen his life flash before him. Yeah, him and I have gone rounds a couple of times. I don't think he's in my area anymore. He was starting to have some serious mental issues, so I think he went to a group home, or I haven't seen him in my area for 8, 9 months. Usually I see him walking up and down the sidewalks because he's usually waiting for me coming down the sidewalk, and he'll just stand there in the middle of the sidewalk. Then he'll pick up a metal pole. He's gonna shove the pole through my spokes when I'm going down the sidewalk. And say, no, you're not gonna do that. And while I'm riding my bike, I reach behind, pull out the gun, put it in the handlebars, and off he starts running. Like, that's what I thought. Put it back, and I just keep going. Yeah, I do carry it for protection, but usually just to make a statement. Then usually people take off on that. It's not something I like doing. Don't think I'm doing this out of pleasure. I don't like doing it. But at some point, it's either me or him. And it wasn't going to be me. Well, unfortunate, it's a life. Some things you got to do, and some things I do I don't like doing. But I've run into some people that not so pleasurable. Yeah, well, I have to look after myself, but I shouldn't have to in a small community like this. But I guess times are changing. People are getting more violent, and people are getting, I don't know. But you guys should have seen me yesterday when I was out riding around town. I was dodging cars, going down like Front Street, and people pulling off from their parallel parking or whatever. They just back up and like, hey, dude, you're in front. And then I was coming home, and there was a truck sitting on the, coming towards me, and he was gonna stop. And I think, as I looked at him, and I thought, dude, don't take a left-hand turn. What does he do? Right in front of me, he takes a left-hand turn. Like, you son of a. So I had to dart off to the left. Lucky I didn't have my trailer on me. So I was going home to go pick it up. Like, I had 4 near misses yesterday. I missed all of them, but came close. People just not looking, and they pull out in front of me, and I have to go around them. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I'll have to have my GoPro on my bike one of these days. You'll see the craziness I deal with in this town. People driving, and then I have to go around them, and they get mad at me. I mean, I got into an argument with a guy on Laurel Street here in his pickup about a week ago. He pulled out, and so I stopped, and I said, "Excuse me, hey guy, I gotta get around you." And so I tried to get around. So he pulled back into his parking spot, got out of his truck, and he looked at me and said, "Dude, you got a problem with me?" I said, "Hey, you were pulling out in front of me. All I was saying, I need to get around." So, yeah, yesterday was kind of fun riding around. Yeah, that's true. Um, I've often said the '80s were a lot better than what we are in today, and that's what I was telling my mom the other day. Is when we were in Pine River and where Dad finally told us that we were going to move, I wasn't happy about it. They had like 5 acres of woods that I can walk in. They connect to other people's wood, but I just, um, but yeah, I was just sitting there one day thinking, well, this is like 1983, the spring of 1983. And my dad told us that probably next year we're gonna move. I was just sitting there one night or one morning and think, the world is a lovely, beautiful place. I'm going to meet such wonderful, beautiful people out there. I was kind of excited to move. I think, because we lived out in the country, I couldn't see too many people. So I was kind of excited to get into another community, meet people, meet all the wonderful people of the world. And oh my God, was I mistaken? I have met more. I don't know how to word it, but off the rocker people, I guess is how I'd say it. Just people that are just. And I shake my head and like, where the hell do people like you come from? Yeah, I used to think way back in 1983 that the world was full of lovely, wonderful, beautiful people, kind and polite. And nowadays, all I see is people mowing down a crowd of people with their car, people getting shot. And I think back to that day of 1983, thinking people are so wonderful, beautiful, wonderful people I'm going to meet. And for the most part, that's true. But you look at around the world as a whole, there are some nasty people out there that I'm glad I don't run into. Um, what happened to Ken and all those guys? Are they still here? Or did I lose them? Darren, Ken, you guys still here? Apparently not. Huh. Oh, wow, is it 250 already? Well, I wasted a bunch. Okay, I can. You're still here. Yeah, it's 250. I wasted a bunch of time getting that volume sound thing fixed, which the meters still aren't moving. So I don't know what happened to that. I don't know if we disconnected them or. But as long as I got volume, I'm not gonna really worry about it. But it's just funny that the. Hmm. Yes, they are, Ken. Hey, Tony. Okay, I was just checking. I was talking with Halsey. I gotta clean the glass on my desk. The glass door up here. I'll show you guys. That right there. My glass windows. I got my fingerprints all over them. So I need to clean the windows. I got some Windex or something around here somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I'll find it. Oh, there go my messages disappearing on me. Oh. Oh yeah, hell, see, I'm not here to make YouTube money. When I get offered to be monetized, I'm gonna go tell them to shove it up there. I'm not here for the money. I've got enough money on my own. I don't need YouTube's pennies, and that's all you're gonna get from YouTube is pennies. It's not really to me. It's just not worth getting monetized and think, oh, I'm getting paid by YouTube now. Because I think when Social Security finds out, that's the other thing my mom brought. Said you can be on YouTube, but don't take monetization because you're taking the income from a company where Social Security may not want you doing that. I said, okay. And not to mention, she doesn't want me to doing it either. She doesn't want me making money. Well, little does she know. But then she wonders why I'm looking at the amount of money I am in the accounts, and she said, "Rick, what's going on here? They got this amount of money in this account, this amount. Hey, what are you doing?" It's like, well, I never did stop working like you told me to 15, 20 years ago. I've been kind of just little by little, person by person. She's like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, you do now. She's not happy about it, but I told her I am going to wind it down here pretty soon because my my back. I might be doing work maybe like twice a week. Going out twice a week. Have Bob or Nate, one of the guys, come pick me up, and we go to some place and work for a few hours. But my doctor and everybody are really asking me to cut down my work schedule because my back just can't take the bending and twisting and getting under desks. And that's, I think, what's doing me in is getting under a desk and then having to stand back up and do that about 25 times while you're there for like 2 hours doing whatever. I don't know. I'm undecided really what I want to do. Can't be monetized. 2:55. Got about 4 minutes here, guys. People just don't have anything. Yeah, I'm seeing that less and less in this world. People having patience. Patience, and the other thing, patience and kindness. And people on YouTube, they don't mix together well. I don't know why it is that people get on YouTube and they're, well, I won't mention names, but down south of Minnesota, kind of I don't know. I've seen like this Jody Broshman or however you say his name. Oh my God, why do people like him exist? I mean, I'm about to unsubscribe from his channel. He's a nasty, horrible guy. And yes, his name is Jody. Jody Brock. I don't know how you say his last name. I've got his. Yeah, he's another one. I think I'm just gonna unsubscribe to because he's not nice. And I sense with him a little bit of prejudice. He's like the Nazis and this and everything. Oh boy. What the hell did I get myself into? So I know he's had videos on lately, and I'm just not interested in listening to him. He's that kind of a person. Like, what the? Where did people like him come from? I mean, I try being polite, I try being courteous, but that Jody guy is just, you know, he's got a real thick, bushy beard, and he refuses to shave. As people on chat have told him, say, "Yeah, man, you should probably shave." I'll shave when people start being nice. Uh, Jody, that includes you. Oh, he didn't like that comment. He came back to me and he said, "You know, I just closed out of it. I didn't want to hear what he said. He's not a nice guy." I see it more and more way of to promote and build a tighter, more engaged. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm working up to, is trying to get my viewer count up and uh trying to get more people trying to get more adults subscribing, but that seems to have kind of died off. Maybe I get one or two new people a month, and that's it. So I know I'm not the favorite of everybody, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, if it doesn't go anywhere, I guess I'm happy where it is. I'm just glad I get people on my live streams. Like, I got people to talk to instead of that one live stream I did. I had absolutely nobody. That was a kind of boring, sad, depressing live stream because I kept looking down to the people watching and it kept saying zero. So it happens every once in a while. It's like people just don't want to hear from me. So every once in a while I get zero viewers. It's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but yeah, I get it. People got their lives to live, and they don't want to listen to me. What kind of creatures are in the river? I don't know. fish. Um, it's funny now that you've mentioned that down at the river when it gets low and the sandbar shows up, and anytime we go on across the bridge on my bike, you can see about 15 turtles sitting there. They must live in the river in the at the bed of the river because when the city goes and shuts the dam off way up the river a ways, and they stop the water flow, this river level will lower, so the sandbars show up, and that's when you see all those turtles sitting there. Kind of neat. I was kind of surprised when I saw it, like first time, like 20 some years ago. I was going across the bridge and I looked down, I was like, "What the hell are all those turtles doing?" And there was a bunch of them. Like, what are all those turtles there for? Yeah, I'm glad you do. I'm glad that. Uh, oh, lack of sleep last night is catching up with me. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like my videos. And someday I will get projects to work on. I just don't know when. Um, okay, it's 3 o'clock, guys. I'm gonna go another minute here and kind of wrap it up and say my goodbyes. And they're doing things with the bike racks down in the bike rack area, so I need to get back down there and see exactly how they work that all out and see if I can get. I gotta get my bike over from the dumpster area back over to the bike area. That's where we took all the bikes from that area. Just went to the other side to the dumpster area. That's also. I'll take pictures of it and I'll show you what these guys show you guys what it is. If I can get a picture to show up where I see my face, then I'll show you a couple pictures of what it looks like now and what it looks like. Well, I've got a picture of what it looks like now of the bike area. Okay, there goes my phone. Yeah. Okay. Before that starts ringing off the hook, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you to everybody that stopped here and stayed for the whole hour and 2 minutes, even though the first 20 minutes was nothing but BS. Because I don't know what happened to my meter bars here, but they're not doing anything. Oh, sure, now you work. What the hell? I don't get it. Yeah, because, yeah, see now it's what the working. Yeah, it's working, so for now it is. But yeah, yeah, I thank everybody for stopping by here. It's been a fun hour, even though I was trying to get my audio working in the first part of it. I don't know what happened with that, guys. I really, unless there's something else I have on that is using my audio. I just thought of something. Um, I don't know. It's working for now, so. Uh, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow, I believe, is Friday. Or am I a day ahead of myself? Nope, tomorrow is Friday. I will have a live stream tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Same place, same channel. So, with that, guys, hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now, guys. Catch you all later.